thumbs up already, and there's only 2 people watching. That's pretty clever, pretty good going. Welcome along, everybody. I'm Andy, as you know, and I'm joined in the garage tonight for the first time by one of my channel members, Richard, who's brought along his wonderful red Quattro Sport that you can see sitting right here. We're going to go all around the car. We're going to take a good look at it. We're going to talk about Quattro Sports in a bit more detail tonight because it's something I don't know an awful lot about and something I want to learn more about. And luckily, I've got an expert in the field with me tonight who's going to tell me all about that. So I'm quite lucky to have Richard along. So if you are watching, then let us know in the comments that you're watching. Give it a little thumbs up as well. If you've got any questions to pose to us tonight as well, please put it in the chat, and we will answer any questions. So if you can let me know where you're watching for around the world. So there's a few people jumping on now, so welcome along. Hi, Christoph, how you doing? Christoph said hi to us. So we're sitting here with Richard. Do you know what I'm going to do? A quick word of warning. We are running off the audio on the phone tonight because the microphones are suddenly tidied away in my garage. Don't know where they are, but somewhere tidy. I can't find them. So we're relying on this. So I'm going to put the garage door down for people so we can block the sound out. Oh, Richard's going to do that. And then I'm going to hand over to Richard. We're going to look all over this wonderful car and talk all about it because I think it is 647. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little panel on the wall. There you go. Is it build 647?
647.
647. So 467. So there you go. So with the world of the Quattro Sport. Hello, Hank. How you doing from Holland? Good to see you in Holland. Paul, another person has just joined on with a red Quattro Sport. So Paul's joined on. Do you know Paul? He's got a lovely red Quattro Sport as well.
So a great taste.
So yeah, he absolutely has. So I'm going to hand over to Richard to talk about the car, but this is build 467. As we know, there were 1,100 built, 800 in the UK.
Yep.
800 in the UK, and this is one of 167 ever made in this colour. So, Richard, how long have you owned the car?
Not that long. So I'm a serial TT owner, going back to 2010. So I've had 3 225s, 2 Mark IIs. So I had a TTS and a 3.2 V6 Roadster. Had a little break, got some money, and decided I wanted my dream TT, which was the Quattro Sport. And one landed on my, on my life at a very, very good price, with certainly a lot of good condition. So I purchased it around 5 months ago.
Fabulous. So I just realised if I move that too far back, can't get us both in. So I'm going to move that back a little bit. Hello there, Andy. I can see you're on there tonight. Hope you're enjoying yourself and you can see us loud and clear. And is that TRV 010 from Estonia? So welcome along. Not sure how many of these cars are in Estonia. Maybe you've got one, but maybe you can tell us all about the ownership. So you've owned this car for a few months now.
Yep.
And are you pleased with it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a very different proposition to a 225. So having had enough of them, both standard and upgraded, it is a very different car. Whether it is that little bit more power, whether it's the way that it's, so the suspension, the geometry is very different, but obviously also things like the interior make it a very different experience to drive.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that one of the first TTs that I met up with when I started the TT Meets TT series, I think it's episode 2, remember rightly, Richard used to own an Amulet 225, which had a very similar colour roof. It had a black roof, didn't it? And it had some real tricky body kit on it as well. That I think Nick Clark's got some similar body kit on one of his cars,
Same
I think.
front.
So
Yeah,
same front. So it's interesting to see those bits. They do bounce around the TT community, and you do see them appearing from time to time. But say that, I don't know what happened to that Amulet car.
So it was bought by a guy up north. For me, it was good fun, and it did look good. But it was, I guess, a very good way of seeing how you can go too far. So it had gas suspension, lowered, everything done, and it was absolutely undrivable.
Yeah.
So it's a big mistake to make. Too bigger wheels, too smaller tyres, too stiff a suspension.
And I think it also had the paintwork. It looked like it had been painted. I think you said it had been painted in a wet environment, so that it was bubbling through from the undercoat.
Yeah, so the Amulet was very interesting to see.
Yes. So to take that back, you'd have to have taken it completely back.
And more on the body kit than the car itself.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so if you've got any questions for us in the car tonight, so there's quite a few of you on now watching, then let us know, and we'll talk all about this car. And of course, if you've got any questions in general about the Audi TT Mk1, then please put them in the comments. I know Richard is a bit of an expert from our conversation, so he's got some great information. I know he contributes regularly as a member into these comments as well. So if you've got something you want to pop up, put it in the comments and we'll ask Richard as well. So we're going to take a little look around the car. There are around 260 Mark 1s registered in Estonia. Only 8 of them are 3.2s. I own a 1.8225. How many miles has the Q Sport, Richard? Looks pretty good.
Just over 70. So right in the sweet spot of them.
Yeah.
And that's where it will stay. Because
Yeah.
the money's in the mileage.
Absolutely. Good evening, Stuart. I see you've jumped on as well. Welcome along tonight. So again, we are in the garage with Richard's beautiful red Quattro Sport.
Selling the way of it.
So well, we can let people
better
have a
looking
look.
than I am.
Yeah, well, let's have a little look. So we'll. What I might do is I might just see if I can pick the phone off the holder like that, and we'll give you a little walk around of the car so we can see it in all its glory. So there it is. What a lovely car it is. I mean, the paintwork is great anyway. So Rich hasn't done any work on it yet. It's something he has got planned. He's got a few jobs planned for this car. We were talking about it when he first arrived. And if you can see down here the Quattro Sport, they have gloss black grills all around the car. So they have the same grills as the 3.2, but on this car, they're all painted gloss black. And it really makes the paintwork pop, I think. And if I was going to have a Quattro Sport, even though I've owned a Mauritius blue car myself, this is the colour car I would go for, because I think it really contrasts nicely with the roof, with the black roof, because that's obviously the Quattro Sport feature. We'll have a look around the inside of it as well. Now, it is an 05 car, so it's 2005. I think they were still building them in 2006.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you quite said, there's 1,154, 800 in the UK. This is 467, and it's a quite late 2005. So it's almost half and half actually between the 2 years.
So we've got, if we have a look a little round the car now, so you can see the paintwork in the light, you can see that shine it's got on it. It really is a great condition car. Now, if we have a look a bit further along, obviously you've got the black wing mirrors as well on the Quattro Sports. That's another nice feature it's got. Again, it's panther black, this colour. So there are some different colour blacks on Audi, but all the components on the Quattro Sport are panther black. So if we look at the back here, we've got this 3.2 style rear spoiler, again in panther black. And I think one of the things that Richard has had done in the car since he's owned it is he's had some paintwork done around the back here, because they do tend to rust around this part of the window. So Richard's done some work as well. Good to see the TT Addict sticker on the back as well. I think I've got an Andycharger sticker somewhere for Richard to add to the car as well. But you can see it's got a great set of original wheels. This car is totally stock standard. The only thing it has got on it that is not stock standard is got an induction kit. He's unlocked it as well. So we're going to have a look. We're going to look in the boot, I think, next. So do you want to talk me through this boot of yours, Richard? Because you said that some of the features that we've got in here is the net on these has a TT badge in the middle, so that's that's unique to the Quattro Sport. Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. So the back end of the car generally is probably a little bit more different than people would expect. And we had a chat beforehand. Obviously, you have the stock seat delete, which is actually the material is the same as the boot carpet, so it actually flows properly all the way through. You don't get things like CD players or anything in the side vents, but obviously the rest of it is 3.2 under the carpet, because it's a 3.2 chassis, so obviously the battery's in the back. But I was telling Andy earlier on, it has a very, very different geometry for the suspension. So it has different shock absorbers, different springs, but also it has the V support that comes on the Roadster on the back end as well. So there's a triangulation part on the rear of the car, which certainly isn't on the 225 or the 3.2.
Yeah.
Which again makes it a little bit different in relation to its handling.
Yeah, and I think that is to give it a bit more stiffness to
absolutely.
through the back. So that the Roadster obviously itself, if you have got a Roadster, 1.8 Roadster, or even a 3.2 Roadster, it has a different pair of cross beams that go across to give that extra structural rigidity, because obviously it's a soft top and not a hard top. But you can see what Richard has also got is the wonderful pole position seats. Original red pole positions are in there. And the condition inside this car, I mean, they're all normally well looked after, these cars, but this one is particularly good. So we'll have a look. I'm going to just, I'll shut that.
It's got new springs on it.
All right, it takes 2 hands to shut it because it's fairly poppy. So I'm going to open this door and we'll have a look on this side and let Richard open his side, and then he can talk us through that side. I'm going to just watch these doors open. Now you can see inside here that you've got, I mean, the seats, there's no bobbles on those seats, so Richard's done a great job on that. And of course, if we have a look on the inside here, you've got the Alcantara gear knob as well, the Alcantara steering wheel, and he has got a sat nav device put in there just to give it a bit of extra modern creature comforts. But it's got a lovely concert stereo there, original concert, in beautiful condition. All the buttons look nice and clean. And of course, what you normally get on the Quattro Sport is you get this on the glove box. That's the Quattro Sport logo, so that's unique. They only have that on the Quattro Sport. I think those parts, if someone wanted to buy one of those parts, they're really expensive. They don't come up very often, but they do come up from time to time. And again, we talked about, and we'll talk about it in a minute, that these cars ask a premium when they come out the factory. So even like today, they ask good money, but they're getting to the stage that people want the components individually, and the cars are coming down in price a bit, and it's starting to get to the point that people are asking crazy money for the components, and that makes it worthwhile to break a car, even a Quattro Sport. But we'll also look under the bonnet, because
so partly as well with the seats is they are unique to the car because they're not really pole positions.
no,
So I was saying again, Andy, earlier on, the leather is exactly the same leather as it is on the normal 225
Right,
seat.
okay,
Same
yeah,
colour,
yeah.
same everything, because I re-dyed this one to get it how I wanted it. But again, they're totally unique, which is why they make the money they do.
so under the engine now.
This is the
So what I might do, I might just put you back on the stand, guys, for this bit, because there are a few questions. We will get to your questions in a minute as well, guys. I don't think we're ignoring you, but this will give us some extra light under here as well. So it's got some nice radiating heat still I can feel coming through. So Richard's engine bay is completely stock standard, and this is the only thing that I mentioned that isn't standard, and that is the Pro-Ram air filter induction kit he's got on the side as well.
noise.
And he likes the noise, but it's really clean under here. There's no oil splats anywhere. The pipework all looks good. The PCV system all looks intact. It's really good condition. We even talked that the window looks quite good, but I think the window has been replaced over the VIN number, because that's the thing with our cars. If you own a 3.2 or a 225 or a 180 or a 150, I guarantee that your VIN number will start TRUZZZ. And that's because all of the cars, apart from the Quattro Sport, because that first part of the VIN identifies what country the car was built in. And we all know they were built in Hungary. Not so much with the Quattro Sport.
So do you want me to take the phone
Yeah,
back?
yeah, of course you can. If you,
So this is the only one that was built in Germany. So let me just, I'm going to flip it. Can I flip the phone? There we go.
there you go.
So if you look at here, at the little badge here, you'll see it starts WUA, which is obviously a different VIN to all of the other 225s and the 3.2s. And the last three numbers on the right are the build number. So this is, as we said, number 467. But the WA is because it comes out of GmbH directly. So they built it at the Quattro factory as a celebration of the, was it 20 years of Quattro?
Yeah.
So
Fab.
you have to spin it again.
I'll do that, and I'll go back to me. So there we go. There's some good facts there about the Quattro Sport. Who have we got on? So, right. So I'm just going to go back through a few of the questions before we move on. What we got? Any Audi TT meet in the States from Carlos? I think because Carlos, they are quite spread out, the TTs in the US. It's hard to find one that you can get to. It's one of those things I've tried to encourage with people. So if you do want to put a meet together yourself, then you can probably do so. It's hard trying to find people that are local to you though for that. Paul said the black is Phantom Pearlescent Black, not Panther Black. Oh, did I call it Panther Black? Did I? That's a Ford colour.
I'd let you have it.
Is
No, there is
we
Panther
should-
Black. No, I
Oh,
had
is
a
there?
Panther Black one. It's got a, it's almost like a silver fleck in the Panther Black.
Right, okay.
So it's a early 225 colour was Panther Black.
Brilliant.
So if you've got a Series 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, thanks for pointing that out and appreciate that. I was obviously thinking of back to my Ford days, though, because that's definitely where I was thinking of Panther Black. But I think I've made that mistake before in here. But so apologies about that, but thanks for pointing it out. Christopher said, "Are the steering wheels only Alcantara and the Q Sport?"
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. They absolutely are, and the gear knob as well. So they are some, excuse me, they are some quite neat features that you have that. And again, we'll talk about the components, and because Richard just sort of chucked some numbers at me a minute ago that scared me about what the price of some of these parts are for the Quattro Sport, which we'll talk about. Good evening, Stephen Craddock. I see you on there as well. Thanks for joining on, buddy. Good to see so many members on tonight with their green names popping up. So again, as always, thanks ever so much for your support. And of course, if you want to become part of our clandestine inner TT group of membership here at the Andycharger channel, then please do click the join link below if you're not already a member. But again, thanks to all my members that do support the channel. So we talked there about parts and how much a car is up for sale for at the moment. There's one for $6,500,
There's
I
about
think.
3 for that. Value.
Yeah. But we're talking now about if we were going to break a Quattro Sport for parts, because a set of wheels is how much?
About $2,000 for real ones.
Set of wheels, so it's £2,000. And you can tell the difference between a real set. It's easy to tell the difference between a real set and a fake set if you've got them side by side, because the difference normally is on the, it's not called them fake, it's called them aftermarket, is they have the same dish front and back, whereas on the original wheels they're a shallower dish on the front and a much deeper dish on the back. Same size tyres on front and back, but they are a bit overstretched on the back. They look real meaty. And I didn't know until I spoke to Richard earlier that a standard tyre on the 225 is 225
40
18, and on the Quattro Sport it's 235 40 18. So you've got an extra little bit of a width on your tyre there to give you it's actually 10 mil in it. You've got
half an
10
inch.
mil,
Yeah. So 8.5 on the back, 8 on the fronts.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're definitely a bigger tyre. So you can really see the difference when you look at the back wheels, the deep dish of these. So $2,000, if we were going to break a TT, we're not going to break this Quattro Sport, obviously, but if we were going to break one, we've made £2,000 back on our wheels. We're going to sell those lovely Recaro seats, and we say 2,500.
2.5, yep, give or take.
So there's £4,500 back. Now, looking in the back of the car, we've also got that rear seat delete, and I think this is the bit that surprised me. You said that was
About 600.
So there you go. So we're at over $5,000, 5,100, and we haven't even got to the rest of the car yet. But of course, we've got some other features. We've got these gloss grills. What would we pay for those? I think
if you could find them,
Yeah.
real ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I maybe a couple £100.
Oh, at least with
Yeah.
and the rear as well. Remember?
Oh yes, we've got
Really
that as
few
well.
of
So maybe we've got £500 on those grills as well. So we're probably at, well, maybe we'll say $5,500 right to those components, and we haven't even taken the engine out of this car yet. So
Which is different.
Which is different again, because it's not the BAM and it's not the I can't remember the ARY. I think is the other one for the 225, but I think it's got a different engine
Yeah,
code
it's
again.
AYT.
Okay, we can have a look at that under the bonnet in a minute. Again, we'll have a look at that. My 03 Audi TT Mk1 won't lock or unlock without power. Yeah, I think that's because the remote central locking, I think, is as such is all. It's all on the power, is it not? I don't
Yes,
think it's
electronic.
cable,
So
yeah.
the controller in the door obviously has the micro switch for the window,
Yeah.
but it's electrically.
Yeah, so it's
driven.
not just cable driven. So that will be why that's causing you a problem there.
You'd be able to open the driver's door on its own, but nothing else would open.
Yeah, so Christoph's asked that question: is the engine code still BAM? No, it's a different engine code. Well, let's pop the bonnet and we'll have a little look at that. We could have had a look at that before, but we'll have another look now.
So interestingly, it isn't any different because there's a lot of rubbish that goes around that it has different valves or different, but it doesn't. It's just the tune.
Yeah. So we'll have a little look in there if we can see it.
I need. Oh, there we go. BFU.
Typical. That is that. Can we see that? Is that?
Yeah.
BFU. Oh yeah, there you go. BFU. That's nice and clear. So there you go. We've got BFU as the engine code. So there you go. It's not a BAM. So I'm going to put you back up there now.
Yeah, and it's only the tune. There's no other difference.
That's it.
Yeah. So 15 more brake horsepower.
So on that basis, then, if you tuned a 225 in the same way, could you potentially get Quattro Sport performance?
Oh,
out
more
of the
than
engine?
I did. Stage 1 will take you to that.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
easily in 225. Yeah.
There you go. Something
It's
I
just
didn't
how
know.
it delivers it.
Yeah.
So if you do it, if you have an engine that's built by Audi at 240 brake horsepower, it's been built to be that engine.
Yeah.
You're increasing what is built to be a 225, so it will actually probably be quicker, but not the delivery is very, very smooth.
Yeah.
You'd never know it happens
No.
a different thing. It's very clever.
Yeah. So there you go. So so if we were going to break a car, we're already, even before we've taken anything else off it, we were at quite a significant amount of money. Good to know. I've got Quattro Sport power then. Okay, you've got a tune on your car, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, my first one, I had a stage 1, no alterations to the engine other than what used to be called a whack box, where you used to drill holes in the box to get more air into it, and that was 248.
Wow.
So it's very easy to get power out of 2, and that's why the 225 is so popular.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it, with the 225, and as a tuning platform, people talk about cars, and we had a conversation about cars that are left on the road today and cars that are unmolested, let's say. And if you want to tune a car, then the 225 is the natural choice to go to. The 3.2, getting more power out of 3.2 is very expensive, and it's also not the platform to do it with, I don't think. So if you were going to keep a car standard in that group, it would be the 3.2, and why we still see so many of them in a standard configuration today. 260 to 300 on mine, red QS 2005. I presume you've got a red QS there, a 260 to 300 brake. That's a lot of power. That's a bit of a tune. Richard's getting jealous now, so we'll. Stephen Harper's asked, Andy, when are you going to modify your TT? It's never going to happen, Stephen, other than the brakes. And we did talk about brakes on this car, because I've always thought that because this beautiful car has so many features in common with the 3.2. I thought the brakes were 3.2 brakes, but Richard corrected me and said no, they are standard 225 brakes. They are the single pot calipers. And a lot of people that do a brake upgrade, they do go for the same upgrade I've done on the 3.2, and that's put the Brembos on it from a Seat Leon Cupra R. It's a nice upgrade. I think the braking is smoother on that than it is on the 3.2. I found the 3.2 quite an aggressive braking. It seems to be a better way of delivering it. Maybe it's not braking as hard, I don't know, but it definitely seems to be a much better way of doing it. Gary Coots here. Oh right, okay, Gary. I know you've got a Quattro Sport. Hope you're good, Gary. It's like looking at your car, then I guess. Looking at this in the background, I'm gonna put it back so we can get a bit more of the car in rather than just us. Although we are in it as well. But if you've got any questions about this car, or while we've got Richard here, anything Quattro Sport related, it's a great opportunity to ask questions. And any questions maybe you've got at all about Audi. Richard is your man. He's always helped me out with information as long as I've known him.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. We did some research before this started about where they are, and
Yeah.
it was quite surprising. So it was not that many in France, about 10 to 12. Italy, there's about 5. 3 in Greece. There's about 15 in Japan, about the same in South Africa. But the real value TTs are in mainland Europe. Why? Left-hand drive, and there are so few of them.
Yeah.
So I showed Andy one that went up for auction just the other week at around 50,000 euros for 65,000 on the clock.
Yeah. Although that's kilometres, so we're lower in miles. So yeah, so 40,000 miles. But yeah, so 50,000 euros for a Quattro Sport is sounds like crazy money. It really does. Mm-hmm. But I think we talked about the numbers that are available. Well, were made. Red was 167. There was something on 168.
Yeah.
Was that the black one?
Black was top was Avis.
Yeah.
About 200. Then black was 168. Red 167. So not a lot of difference there. Yeah. Then the blue. So your Mauritius. Then bizarrely silver. So there's actually not that many silver TT Quattro Sports. No. So there's about 30. And then the real, I guess, unicorn is Sprint Blue. And there's 2. Yeah,
and I don't know if David Pring is on this feed tonight. We've got 39 people on at the moment. David, if you're out there, you are the owner of one of these magical cars. And we talked about where the other Sprint Blue Quattro Sport may well be. You think it might be with Audi still. So
unless Dave Pring's got both of them.
Maybe he has, yeah. Maybe that's exactly what's happened to it. So these beautiful cars are still around, and they are still, you can still pick them up even today. I mean, Rich is a great example of that, the last time I saw Richie was driving around in a white Mark II with a hole in the boot lid where he'd locked himself out of it. But that's another story for. We might talk about that in a minute. Maybe we'll talk about what happened there. But that was the last time I'd seen Richie in a TT, and then it was great to see him back. And that's the thing about the scene is, and I saw a post today. Someone had put that they sold their Roadster and put regret after it immediately after that. And that's the thing, is people drifting out the scene. They have a car, they sell it, and they instantly regret it and they want it back. We know that life changes for people and they don't always get to keep their car, but it's always good to see people coming back into the scene. And Richard's picked up an absolute gem here. I mean, I saw it for the first time a couple of weeks ago in the drizzle in Rochester, under a flyover outside of McDonald's, setting the scene there. But seeing it under the lights in here, and I know it's only my strip lights, but seeing it under the lights in here tonight, it is a magnificent specimen of the Quattro Sports. Danny Vase has put, why do you think VW didn't build a 3-litre V6 TT? Well, they built a 3.2 TT, so I think they wanted a bit more. So they did build a 2.8 twin turbo V6, one of, which is a car that sits in with Audi tradition now. It was a, well, it's actually not a TT if we're going to be honest. It's a B5 with a TT body sort of welded over the top of it and adjusted, quite heavily modified to fit. Even like the front struts are like about here rather than there. It's really quite an interesting car. So that was their first foray into it. But being a twin turbo, I mean, that would be like an absolute rocket. But yeah, so I don't know why they didn't make a 3-litre, because a 3.2 was available and they put that in it. Stephen Harper's put coolant leak. I've mystery coolant leak. I've replaced the temperature sensor housing and the aux pump and it's still leaking but can't find where. Is it physically appearing on the floor, Stephen, or is it just disappearing out of the tank? Do you actually see evidence? Is it boiling off is what I'm getting at, or is it actually pooling up somewhere? Let us know. Because obviously water does flow downhill, so I'll trace it back up your engine bay and find out where it's coming from.
The other way is if you get a pressure, if you can find a fill pressure, so you can get something that goes on it. So, you know, like if you want to pressure fill a system, you can use that without any fluid to put pressure into the coolant system.
Okay.
Without the car having to be running. So you take it up to about 8 bar, whatever you want to do. And obviously that will then put it under pressure and give you a much better way of finding it.
Could you use like a brake pressure bleed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thing? I've actually got one of those over there. Yeah. So maybe
you obviously don't put any brake fluid in.
No, definitely not. That definitely not be the way forward.
The next question is, no, it wasn't mine. Mr. Chesham.
Yeah. Was the Quattro Sport that was stranded at the meet? No, that isn't that. So the one that was stranded at the meet was actually Steve Chesham's Avis Quattro Sport, which we got out of trouble thanks to my new super duper topped on JS3000 that I talked about, which is a really great,
wasn't it, with that?
Oh yeah, it's I have to say that on the 3.2, some of these jump starts, they do need a bit of extra help, but that absolutely blew people's minds. It was I think someone said, Stephen said, I think it could start people, it's got so much power. So
but to give Steve his dues, the car hadn't been used for a long time.
Yes.
So
yeah, so Stephen's put it's disappearing the coolant, so it's almost like it's boiling off that coolant then. So is it disappearing into your engine oil? That wouldn't be good, would it? That could be something that could be quite bad. With the account I subscribe to the channel with can't seem to comment in chat. I must have a special set skills if I get banned on day. Darren, you're definitely not banned from the chat, and I can see that you are tapping away there. So yeah, you're definitely tapping, and we can see what you're saying. So, but have you recently joined the channel, or you subscribed to the channel? Because anyone can type in the chat. You will all appear the same, whether you're a channel member, a channel subscriber, or just a guest on the feed tonight. We do get a lot of people that just drop in and out. So yeah, so let's talk about Richard's previous TT ownership. Your first. So what was your first?
Mixed bag. So I started in TTs in about 2009. I had a Saab Aero convertible. It's an amazingly good car, and somebody wanted it, and they wanted to swap it for theirs, and they had a pre-facelift 225 in black, but not Phantom, as in your
Right,
favourite,
yeah,
in
not-
your favourite black.
Or Panther Black.
So it's Panther Black,
Right.
and never had anything to do with TTs. Liked the look of it. It was in good condition, so we swapped cars in a service station in Wales. Brought it home, fell in love with it, got involved in, if anybody remembers it, it's still going, the TT forum, which was the way that everybody spoke to each other back then. Ended up being one of the people who ran the TT forum back then, and that car was epic. I mean, it was in stunning condition, had replica GT3 RS seats, and yeah, I couldn't leave it alone. Disappeared altogether for a fairly long time, due to work, life and everything else like everybody else does. And then the Amulet came up. Funny enough, in Wales as well. I seem to go back to Wales quite a lot for Mark 1 TTs. But it had been heavily played with, so it had a body styling kit on it. And if you've seen Nick's, it was the same front end. But again, I took it a little bit further. Problem is, you know, people always say, what size wheels should I have on it? And it had big BBS 19s on it with basically elastic bands. And it really makes a big difference to the ride of the car. It was pretty undrivable as a car. Suspension was too hard, and basically I didn't enjoy driving. I enjoyed looking at it because the engine bay was off the scale.
Yeah.
But
I would say on that, if you want to check out that car and see the back problems that it probably gave Richard as we were driving down that road that
only
day.
32.
Well, so if you want to check out that video, go and check out my TT Meets TT series here on the channel, and you can actually see Richard's car. I think it was definitely the second episode that I filmed, so it's a couple of years ago. But if you go and look at the playlist and find TT Meets TT, you'll see that car, and it is a beautiful car when we're talking about it. But sorry, Richard.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, but it was so undrivable that I stopped enjoying it, bizarrely. So sold it for quite a lot of money comparatively, because it was very good. I then bought a Mark II TTS as my daily, and it's an absolute rocket ship. So you're looking just under 280 brake horsepower with the DSG gearbox. Absolutely crazy car. My partner absolutely hated every minute of it, so she made me sell it and be a bit more sensible. But we always wanted a convertible, so we then bought a V6 Mark II 3.2 Roadster, which was lovely. What a car with the V6 in and it's a bigger car than Mark II. It's more of a car, a lot more comfortable. But Andy did allude that we did have a little bit of a problem with it on the grounds that the central locking didn't work. So you had to open the door with the key and the boot from the button inside the car. Now, you may not know, or you may know if you drive a Mark II, they are very, very different electrically to a Mark I. So first of all, they have pickups in the bonnet, in the front to charge, which is, you don't have on yours, do you?
No, definitely not.
But it has another fuse box in the boot. The irony is the fuse that controls the boot release is in the boot.
Audi up to their tricks here again.
Would you believe it? It's only got about 4 or 5 fuses in it. It's about, size of a packet of matches, and it's got 5 fuses in it, and one of those is the boot release. I took the fuse out because I was doing some work on the back, shut the boot accidentally. The emergency release got stuck in the boot as well, and I couldn't get in the boot. Obviously with a Roadster, you've got a gap about that big in the ski hatch to get in. The fuse box is at the very back of the boot in the corner, so you can't reach it, even putting your arm in. I built every contraption under the sun to try and get this fuse in. So I had like broomsticks and poles with different angles with the fuse attached to the end of it, trying to get the fuse into and gave up. Never got it in. Spent 7 hours trying to get the fuse into that little fuse box because you physically can't get into the boot. You can't take the back of the car apart because there's a metal wall between the back of the car and the boot. So I looked a little bit outside the box, went to a breaker's yard who had a white Mark II TT. I had bought a new boot that matched the one I had, got out the circular saw and sawed a hole in the boot. So that I could put my hand in and put the fuse in. Easy then.
Yeah,
easy.
You did it, and you
Absolutely.
yeah. So I do remember this. I'm pretty sure you sent me a picture of it
Just
actually
crazy.
of the hole in it. So it's
Like a can of beans.
yes. But so that would be your last. I think you sold that car to Dom. Did you not,
Yeah.
Dom Parrott?
So as you were quite rightly saying, people sell TTs for a lot of reasons, and very few of them is because you don't like the TT. With me, because obviously it was a newer TT, it was the cost of having it on the drive. So I think because it's obviously a 3.2 Roadster, because it's obviously in the higher tax bracket, and then I worked out it was costing £1,700 a year just to have it on the drive.
It's madness, isn't it?
And that was the breaker for me.
Yeah.
Just wasn't getting used.
No. I think that's the thing now is that there's this whole debate that's been. It seems to have quietened down now, the debate over the increasing car road tax or the VED for the cars, which, as I said before, it's a non-starter, that issue, because if you've already owned it for the last year, you've been paying it already, because that change came in actually of April 2025, not April 2026.
Okay.
So the change that's come in 26 is about the electric vehicles, but that change that came in 25 with that going up, it's already been in place. So you, as a new or an owner of a TT, if you've been paying the lower rate until now, you will continue to pay the lower rate, because the big caveat is any vehicle produced before or registered before the 23rd of March 2006 is actually downgraded to a under 225 grams per kilometre output from the emissions, so you only pay the lower rate tax. So if anyone out there is still worried about that change, don't worry about it. Go and check the date your car was registered, and if you've been paying the lower rate till now, you'll continue to pay the lower rate.
But quite interestingly, with the Quattro Sport, if one comes up for sale, it's almost always the very first question, because a large number of the Quattro Sports were built after March 2006. So the first question someone will always ask is, which tax bracket is it?
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because in comparison to the value of the car, it's
and I think even on the 3.2s on the Mark II, I think there's a difference there as well.
Yeah.
Roadster and Coupe, I think that might be. I think it's a difference on. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure
the
one is
3.2
cheap.
Roadster was
The expensive
a lot,
one,
and it was
yeah.
2007. So
Yeah, so that's definitely one. So we've got a few questions in the comments. Let's have a look. We've got Stephen put his checked engine oil, all okay. Check the coolant bottle, no bubbles, pink coolant, no stains. So that coolant is definitely going somewhere, but it's not appearing out of the car. Darren Nederhoff, cheers, Andy. Oh, you're the guy from Minneapolis. So you ran the TT sort of owners club in the US, I think. So yeah, good to have you along, Darren. Good to see. Stephen Craddock, Super Anti the rescue. I think you're referring to me registering Steve Chesham's car. I'm always happy to rescue Steve. He's got so many TTs. He needs all the help he can get. Great guy and a great collection of cars. What we've got? Jean-Francois. Ciccone, I think the surname is. Jean-Francois Ciccone, 9578. Hello from Montreal. Bonjour, ça va? German engineering, so that's obviously when we're talking about their great ideas of how they do things a little bit differently. Darren's put, when the TT originally launched in the UK, did you guys get it as a special edition? Here in the States, it was a Neiman Marcus edition with baseball optic leather.
yeah, there was the Neiman Marcus, wasn't there? It had a different interior.
Okay, in the UK as well?
No, just in America.
Oh, okay, only in America. I don't recognise that.
In the UK would know who Neiman Marcus.
I was going to say that's definitely an American brand. I'm just going to roll up the
But it was
comments.
just a Roadster, if memory serves.
Oh, okay. And then Stephen Craddock's put, could not have found someone with a small child. To put through the ski hacks, that must be. No, you need
They'd
to
have to be tiny.
yeah, small.
I've got a very small, dog.
Yeah.
But he's rubbish with fuses, so no opposing thumbs.
Darren says Audi Quattro Club USA, Audi Club not available now. Oh, okay, so that's good. So North America now, not available North America. Right, that's great. So we've got. If you've got any questions for us, obviously keep them coming. So 37 people watching right now, so good to have you along. And if you enjoy what you're seeing tonight, talking about the TT with this beautiful car in the garage, then please do give it a thumbs up as well, so I know you're enjoying what you're watching. So let's have another little look around the car, shall we? Let's have because I'm sure people will have joined since. So if we can have a little, we'll zoom out there. And again, we have got this lovely paintwork. So you can see the shine in it. You can see from the lights. I mean, the striplets are shining. There's a few cobwebs hanging out there. Don't fall on the car. But it is a really, really beautiful colour car as well. I mean, I think the Misano always looks nice, but it almost looks a different colour red against the Quattro Sport features.
The big thing as well is people don't realise it's metallic until you go in the really bright sun.
Yeah.
And I think then it looks staggering.
Yeah, it's a lovely colour car. I think the full Misano red cars without the black features and the black roof, it almost looks a bit too red. If it can be too red, but I think this is almost like it gives it a real good contrast with the black roof. So we will. I'll pick it up like that, and I'm going to spin you around.
You don't get the lacquer problem.
No, you don't get the lacquer problem, which is quite interesting. So let's have a look. So there's those beautiful wheels, those big Quattro Sport wheels, and something that Richard pointed out to me as well, that on the Quattro Sport, they have these plastic covers on the wheel nuts. You can see that? Now, the Quattro Sport is the only car that they have those on. But if we look there, that's the dish that I'll talk about how, if you can see that's it, and you can look at the back wheel, you can see it's much deeper. We'll go and have a look at that on the back wheel. You can see how much deeper that is there. You can see that really, really deep.
It has a secondary lip as well. So this lip here isn't on the front one.
Oh really?
No.
Oh, okay, I
So
didn't know that.
Extra
That's a great point to point out. I didn't know that, so that's something I've learned tonight. And of course, something we didn't talk about earlier that the Quattro Sport has. It has these spats on the back, the original red spats on the back there. It would have.
It has that because of the wheels.
Yes. Oh right, yeah, to make sure it, because it's a bit wider. But there we go. There's the paintwork. I mean, it's great condition. So Richard's definitely got not a bargain. I don't really pay, but he's definitely got a great one for the future, a minter for the future.
You were saying interesting. You had the tool for the plastic caps.
Yes, I did.
One of yours.
I do. Yeah, I have a pair of the tweezers. So those tweezers. So that if we look at those wheels again, so those plastic wheel nuts that we've got there, they are only on the Quattro Sport, and there's a special tool in your boot toolkit that comes and sits inside the spare wheel, or in these cars it sits in the actual foam tray that sits in the back where the spare wheel would go. And I've got a pair of these special tweezers, and they're for removing the caps, those wheel nut caps, and they only came in the Quattro Sport. So I'm interested to know what Quattro Sport my tweezers came from. But again, I might just see if I can have a look in the car. We'll have a look. We'll spin you around again. We'll have a look in here. So there we go. So Rich has got a few tools in here, because one of the jobs we were going to do tonight is we were going to take the engine apart. But unfortunately, I've mislaid my microphones and we can't do it. But a bit of a pain, because I want to record that. But you can see features in here. You've got the beautiful Quattro Sport seats. Although, Richard, they're not called pole positions, but they're styled on pole positions. But they are Recaros. Yeah, they are Recaros at least. And of course, they've got the red backs then that you can see there as well. You've got the Alcantara handbrake, the Alcantara gear knob, and the Alcantara steering wheel. So
interesting also, they put Recaro on them rather than TT. So
yes.
Think about all the newer ones with the Recaros.
Yes.
And the wingbacks, they have the model of the car on them.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, they do. They like to do that. And on these, I don't know if this has had a bit of paint, because the reason I say that is normally you've got these two little chevrons inside these little catches, and they don't. You can see it clearly there actually. So maybe they haven't been painted because they are a bit more clear there. But my ones have been painted, my roof rails, and those catches are almost like smooth now because the paint's so thick on them.
But about the stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can see them on this side.
Yeah, I can see them at the back there. The back of them is nice and clear. So there you go. Yeah, the seats are amazing. They really are an amazing set of seats. Someone's commented on that. But Richard just had a new windscreen fitted in the last week or so, because he'd had a problem with the screen, so that's been replaced.
What they'll do, so people don't realise you've got no edge to the windscreen.
Yeah.
So they delaminate.
They do.
Basically.
But yeah, obviously you've got the black wing mirrors as well. Again, they are in Phantom Black Metallic. Or pearlescent, sorry, Phantom Black pearlescent, not Panther Black, as I said. So apologies again. And of course, there's that lovely grille. You can see there the contrast between the grille and the red paintwork, and how good that looks. It really does. So yeah, beautiful car. Headlights are in good condition as well. It's always good to see a good set of headlights on these cars, because they do suffer. People do a lot of headlight restoration. There we go. You can see that VIN number again with that start WUAZZZ rather than TRUZZZ, which you can see on a Hungary-based car. So let's spin that round. Oh, actually, I've spun it round to the back. So I'm going to step over here for a second, and we're going to talk now. You can see the engine. This is not the Quattro Sport engine, you'll be pleased to know. This is the BAM engine out of the 225 breaker that I've got in the garden. Now, the idea was I've put it all back together. So when you've seen it recently, none of the components are in it, but I've put it all back together. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to do a complete strip down from start to finish, taking the rocker cover off, taking all the components off. You can see the bolts are all missing out of this at the moment, so I haven't bolted it all back down. But I'm going to strip it all down, and then I'll try and arrange maybe for Richard to come back so he doesn't miss out on the fun of seeing what's inside, because he did show me, he put a torch down inside. Oh, we can do it again now. So one of the questions on this engine is how badly bent the valves are, and I don't know if you can see that valve down in there. You can probably see the angle. Oh, there you can see the angle. It's not quite straight. So I think that valve is particularly bent, but they don't look too bad when we look down there. There's not, I can't really see any real damage or bent valves. I mean, you see, that's nice and clear in there. Although that one looks maybe, do you think that one looks a bit bent on the side there, that angle? That one might be a bit bent. And then in the end chamber,
very clean for.
Oh, it might be the angle it's coming out. I think they're actually quite straight, but yeah, it's pretty clean in there.
Non-direct inputs.
Has he had a set of walnuts put through it? I wonder. Maybe not. But it's
no.
no. But it's I mean, looking at this engine, and I don't know if this is typical. We can see there's a bit of like burnt on oil in this engine, but at the back it's quite charred around here, around the back of the camshaft. I don't know if that's typical. It would burn there towards the back, but it seems to be quite a consistent pattern across the back.
There's a lot of impact as well on the followers.
Yeah,
you see, and it's on a lot of them.
And what would that indicate normally if they were damaged? Just
bad oiling.
Oh, okay.
But the whole varnishing is because of the oiling of the car.
Okay.
So, you know, you'd suggest that it's had oil, but because I've seen worse, but you can see the amount of detritus.
Yeah, I mean
that
there is particularly bad, isn't it? How bad
and
that
that's
is.
just bad oiling.
Yeah, and if you've got it to the state of that, I mean, could you run like an engine flush through that to sort that?
It's more just oil changes.
Yeah.
But then again, it shows more. If we look down here where we looked earlier on.
Yeah.
If you look
yeah, we're looking there. You can see in there.
In fact,
I can zoom in there. Look, I can zoom in there. There you go.
It's really, really filthy.
Yeah. So that's just down to poor engine management, oil changes, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Lack of service, but then the fact that the belt was
as
it was,
yeah,
kind of says.
Yeah, which we've got the belt, which you can see how badly burnt that all is there on the back there. So we can have a quick look at that belt.
I've never seen one that doesn't have some varnishing.
Yeah.
But it's so
to that level, yeah.
The whole, if you look at the whole of the block, the varnishing is very even.
Yeah, and do you think that might be where it'd run dry and all, and it just like bakes
Not
itself
necessarily,
on
it's just
that?
old oil.
Oh, okay.
And it breaks down on the metal.
That's a great. I've got a great view of the Quattro Sport through there. We get that. We can have a look down there. We can do some great. I mean, look how great that car looks. Tell me that is not a lovely looking car that we've got right there. Great looking car. And then we pick up these belts that I've got on the floor, and I'm going to show that to Richard so he can have a good look at that. So we can talk about that. Yeah. So there are two belts here. One belt came off the Roadster. It hadn't done many miles, maybe about 7,000 or 8,000 miles, and you can see the teeth are all intact. You can feel the rigidity of the belt. It's still pretty good compared to the elastic band that we've got in the other hand.
But also there's no brake or any graveling on it.
But this other belt, which is the one that came off this car, I think it came off the car itself. You can see, through the back of it, it's a lot shiny. You can see the evidence of the teeth through it. Its
viscosity.
And well, if you turn it inside out,
absolutely.
And then we can look at how many teeth are missing there. Look, all that section that is all teeth that are missing off that belt. And there's a lot of other teeth that are broken off and missing as well. So how this car kept going for as long as it did. Yeah, there's other...
Way over half of the gear.
Yeah, so that's how much it would have slipped by. Now, of course, the other parts, it would still have some... You'd hope it'd have some catch on. But, of course, if that's going around the bottom pulley down there, I mean, that's around the crankshaft. I mean, that wouldn't even... That belt would have slipped the whole way around. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, even with this, once it had reached the top, it's nothing. There's nothing holding it at all.
Yeah, so that's so we also talk about people talk about the timing chain, right? So people say, oh, my car's got a timing chain. So a 3.2 does have a timing chain, but the 225 also has a chain, which is here, but this is for your camshaft chains at the top here. So this isn't the timing chain, which we class the timing belt. So when people talk about doing the chains on the 225, it is this chain right here.
Because you only drive the exhaust.
Yeah.
And the exhaust drives the input through that chain.
So that's what it's doing
that's
there.
Where if they do go, it's this. This is your pneumatic.
Yeah. So there is actually, that's got a bit more play in it than it would normally have.
It really has. Look.
Yeah, because that component there that you can see, that sort of I've got the name of them that does the guides, the chain guides. There's one actually missing because it's actually off the car over there. So it's not that slack for a reason. But again, if you were doing this as well, and there's something I was going to point out about this, so I'm going to pick up the rocker cover, which is just over here. So here is the rocker cover, and I've got it the right way around. I'm just going to put it in place for now. I'm not going to put it on, but essentially, if you were going to remove your rocker cover, and you've got the engine in situ, you've got this plate on the back here, and what you have to do is loosen this plate off with these bolts to pull it out of the way, because otherwise you could really struggle to get the rocker cover past and all the bolts. And I'd also say if you are removing the rocker cover, you need to make sure you pull it off square, because it is easy to catch it and it really fights you because of the 10 little bolts you have to pull it off over as well. And I'd also, if you're going to have a rocker cover like this, a lot of people get them off and powder coat them. And I heard a story this week where someone had a powder coated engine cover, rocker cover, got it back, gone to fit it, done the bolts up and sheared the bolts off because they had
only 10
had a problem.
Meters, aren't they?
Yeah, and the reason for that is obviously when it's painted, you should really get like a tap and die and drill the holes back out, because the paint obviously gets baked into the holes, because I think that's where you get the extra resistance. And what had happened, the guy had obviously fitted the little the bolts back into it and caused a problem. So
nice.
So let's have a look at the underside. So there you go. So that, I think this is very telling right
Exhaust.
Here. Yeah, I mean how charred that oil is. I mean it's pretty bad, that, isn't it? Would you not say?
Yeah.
I got it.
Thing is as well is you almost wouldn't be able to clean it unless you totally cleaned it, because it's going to drop into the engine. Anything that isn't cleaned off this,
that's the trouble.
You're almost better leaving it like it.
Yeah, but I think also you've also got the component, that is so crusty there that is going to flake off at times, and it is going to end up in your engine oil, and it is going to start blocking your oil pickup pipe up. So that is a bit of a pain.
Which is the other thing I want to see on this engine.
Yeah, we could have done that tonight maybe, but I say we are going to. I've had to order a new set of microphones for my broadcast, because we have. Let's spin that round. We have lost, or I say we. When I say we, the royal we, I've lost the microphones that I normally use for this broadcast. They're in this garage somewhere. So if you've seen it before, the garage normally has everything up to about here, and it's just full of junk. So I tidied it so Richard could get the Quattro Sport in here last night, because I didn't want him to come around and be offended by the mess. And I've put the microphones somewhere and tidied them away. And I was worried where I'd lost them, so I've traced my steps back based on TikTok videos. So I worked out I'd recorded a TikTok video with the alternator last night, which I put on TikTok, and I've got the microphones on at that point. Since then, no idea where they've got.
It's not still on the jumper that you're wearing.
No, it's not, unfortunately, because it's got 3 bits to it as well. So there's the little components, because it would have been great, because there's 2 microphones, so we could have both been mic'd up, clip the bit in the bottom, and off we go. But unfortunately not. Yeah, let's have a look. There's a lot of
Could you say that again?
No, I can't say that again. Right, so what have we got? Right, okay, so let's have a look at the comments. So sorry, guys, we've been a bit talking about engines because there's been a lot come through. Andy, what does MMI mean on an Audi with tyre pressure? MMI. Oh, hi, Heidi. That's Aston's girlfriend. Welcome along. Do you know what MMI means?
On an Audi with tyre pressure.
On an Audi with tyre pressure.
Is that, or is MMI to do with the actual system in the car?
Something management information.
Yeah, I think MMI is the actual control unit screen.
Yeah, I don't know, Heidi. We'd have to have a look at it. Maybe if you've got
tyre pressure TPS. It's always TPS on every car. Tyre pressure system. So I think MMI is the actual machine, the screen and the buttons that you're pushing on it.
Alex Fira 1. Hi, gents. For vacuum leak, can I improvise a smoke test or to check every hose? Yeah, you can. There are a few videos online about building a smoke test. I think Dom did one, did not?
Yeah.
I think Brim might have done one
The
as
irony
well.
as well now is Timo. Everybody hates Timo, but it's bloody useful. You can get a proper smoke tester for like 15 quid.
Yeah.
And they come now quite quickly.
Yeah.
And they work.
Yeah, definitely worth doing. I think a smoke test machine is definitely a worthwhile investment to have in your toolbox. So maybe check it out on some of those sort of sites.
Other sites are available.
Other sites are available. I was going to say that. Mazzano is awesome. Absolutely, Darren, it absolutely is awesome. Check N75 valve first. Unplug the power and see if it builds boost. If you still leak, start checking pipes. That must be into a question further up I've missed, Chrissy Jamie. I didn't see where that question was. Didn't see that one. Is that... Oh, no. It's the trouble working on a small phone.
So I'd probably disagree initially.
What was that on, sorry?
If it's a 225, half the likelihood is it's PCV first. I mean, it may well be the N75, but the N75 is only hitting on the overboost.
Yeah.
And because it's on the top of the engine, it doesn't get dirty hot unless it's in the wrong position.
Yeah.
I think smoke testing is probably the way to start.
Yeah, and of course the PCV system, whether it's getting old, you know, you're going to get a lot of boost leak. You're going to get all sorts of collapsed pipes. So even on things such as on your turbo intake pipe, they're getting quite old. Don't forget, if you haven't got a catch can, that's pumping oil and vapor back into that at some point as well. So it's going to be a lot of vapor going into that tip, and it's going to get soft.
And funny, the one that's actually the worst is the elbow from the charge pipe to the turbo, because it's only that the red one. If you look under your bonnet, it's the red one.
Yeah.
It is so short, and it's in literally between the exhaust and the turbocharger. So the heat it feels, it's worth giving it a push. And if they go very, very soft, and then they are useless.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check that out. Stephen Harper said, I don't know if I scroll back too far. I have had fat fires on my TT and they came with plastic wheel bolt covers and the tweezers in toolkit.
There you go.
There you go. So there we go.
It's not unique.
Not unique. So thanks, Stuart. That's good to know. Stephen Harper said, Andy, did you see my video on the Bison and reflectors? I've not watched it yet, but I did see it pop up, Stephen. So I will check that out because I see that you've done some work on it. It'd be interesting to see what you've come up with on that. Did you manage to get that socket for the head bolts? If so, how much are they? No, Christoph, I didn't, although Richard's got one, an M10 ride bit. I think he's going to show you what it looks like. But luckily, I've got a boring story. I was given a load of what called chocolate box tool kits a few years ago. I did all sorts of random lovely things. And one of it had all these different size bits in it. They're not ride, but they're like just big... almost like star bits that do it. So Richard's got one in his magical toolkit.
So this kit has all of the weird
Sockets.
fittings.
Yeah.
So a ride bit.
There you go.
If you look at it, it's still a star bolt. Don't know if it'll focus, but it has a hole in it.
Right. Yeah.
So it's hollow. So you often see the bolt with the little pin in the middle of it. So that's a ride bit.
Yeah, I think Apple used to do a lot of those as well on a lot of their small bolts, so you couldn't get the actual when they did the old star tools in the old days. But yeah, so there you go. So that's what a ride bit looks like. So no, I haven't got one, but I did improvise, and I managed to get I managed to get my head bolts out, and I did. Let me grab a head bolt. Did have one just. So there is the head bolt, and I believe there is it 8 or 10? 10, I think. 10 of those, and you can see there it is. So that doesn't have the little dot in the middle. That one, luckily. Don't know if it's snapped off or if it never had it, but that is one. Unless it's an aftermarket bolt and that head's not been off before. But there you go. They're quite long, and I've got a set of those.
And they're useless.
Yeah, because you don't reuse them. Because if you
Price
reuse
of Audis and their stretch bolts.
yeah. I did see someone was telling me a story that there's no such thing as a stretch bolt the other day.
Yes, there is. Well, they show them against each other once they take them
and
out.
they change. And I was thinking, oh, I'm not sure that's the case.
The clue's in the name.
Yeah. Baby R8, I see that. So, Christoph, those bits, I mean, they're quite cheap. They'll be like about £10, I think, to buy.
That's a Temu set.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nice big set of tools.
Other Barber and other people are available.
Yeah. AliExpress is the other one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Other auction sites available. Put it in your dishwasher, but don't tell the wife. I think might be talking about the rocker cover at the time. Multimedia interface.
Yes.
There you go. Radio system MMI. Good evening, gentlemen. Steve Chesham, welcome along. If you're still on, I mean, I've just missed a lot of comments. We've been talking about you earlier on, actually, and your lovely cars and your recent breakdown
and your recent sale.
Yeah, and your recent sale. Yeah, so you've sold your 3.2. I think you've sold.
Low mileage one.
Low mileage, yeah. And but you still kept most of your cars, which is good. John Smith, are the warnings of plastic water pump impellers overblown or well founded? I think most of them are plastic impellers on the water pump. I think even on an OEM pump, it's a plastic impeller.
It's a nice upgrade, but the majority of them are plastic.
Yeah. It's I don't think it's something you need to worry about. Richard Stevenson, hello, how you doing? Good evening, chaps. The Audi behind looks appealing. So yeah, absolutely is. It's a beautiful car, beautiful condition car. It's nice to bit of feature something in the garage that in the light other than silver and papaya really and the blue. So I've got
papaya's very nice.
It's very nice, but it's a bit, I see it every week, don't I? So
the funny thing is for you guys on the web who've never seen it in the flesh, it is a totally different colour in the light, the papaya.
Yeah.
It's so much lighter.
Yeah.
It's very peculiar.
It's a lovely colour car, and it was one that obviously came up for sale, and luckily doing what I do, someone mentioned it to me in an email on Saturday morning, and I had the opportunity to go out and look at it and buy it then and then. So that is exactly what I did, because if one of those comes up very often, a bit like this, a beautiful car like this comes up, you take a chance and you buy it and you keep it and you look after it, and that's what you do. So what else have we got going on? Oh, and that might be the end of the comments. So guys, if you've got any questions or comments for me or Richard, please put it in the chat. So we've been blessed with Richard and his car this evening to ask questions. Is it a lefty? A left-hand drive? Is your garage there? Oh, is it? Are you talking about my papaya? Maybe no. No. Mine is one of the 41 made for the UK market in papaya. So I don't think I bet there's not half of those left now either. But I know where there's 3 of them living at one house, bizarrely, further up north. Is your garage there a home garage or is that a rental type? It's very much a home garage. It's definitely not the beauty of a ramp or anything like that here. This is my home garage. We call it the bowling alley because it's very long and narrow. So you could have a great bowling alley in here, or you could put 3 cars. So, well, you can't at the moment.
Yeah,
curling,
at the moment.
Yeah, could have a curling ring. Well, I should have that, shouldn't I?
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of sticks over there. We could have a game, maybe. I did think about what it would take to freeze the floor at one point. So that was a long time ago, but it's an expensive job. I think it's because the camera is flipped. Ah, yeah, you would be right. It is exactly that. Yeah, so on YouTube it flips it around. So my jumper probably doesn't read very well. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, you don't already, check out Andycharger. Obviously, you're on it, watching it now, but definitely check us out. Yes, you're correct. Sold the low mileage 3.2, but bought a factory white 3.2 coupe. Oh, there you go. That's
we discussed it. When we met the other week. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The white 3.2 is just another unicorn car.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, isn't it, that there are so many of these what we class as unicorn cars around, but in our what I class as our sort of inner circle that we've got, we've sort of all got them amongst ourselves. So we've all got a rare car, if that makes sense. So it's nice to know that they're all being looked after by real enthusiasts and people that we know. They know what they've got. I mean, this is a great example of that. I mean, a low mileage Quattro Sport, when there were only a select number of them built. I say only 167 in red that we know of. I wonder what the lowest red one is.
Well, there's not, the thing as well is there isn't 800 left.
Exactly that.
I think it's about 400 and something.
Yeah. So if in those red ones, if we halve the red ones, then so there's probably 80 left. I say Paul's definitely got one. You've got one. There was one at the Gary Coots has got one that was on earlier as well. So there's 3 that we know of, and there is a database, I guess you class it of numbers and colours. Luckily, more the Quattro Sport has a lot more information like that than mainly the other colour cars. I had to reach out to Audi to obviously get my facts and figures on the Papaya, which they weren't overly well, they were okay giving the information to me, but they've been not as keen to give information to other people that have tried to give it the same route.
Yeah, so shout out to David Pring, who works on the register. So every number, each of their colours, where they are. So it's got a list of obviously if there are, I think it's 5 in Italy and 9 in France, etc. So it's quite sad and interesting in a lot of respects. But yeah, so he's got every chassis number.
That's good. That's good to know. And it's good to know they can be tracked as well. So, Paul Knight's on. I'm just going to go through this. So those questions. So Darren said, I was going to say that's a quite long and narrow, so it made me wonder. Yeah, that's exactly that's the question. Yeah. So Andres Polska, my Polish is not what it once was, but thank you for viewing. Hopefully you can understand what we're saying. I'm sure your grasp of English is better than my grasp of Polish. So good. Paul Knight said about no bacon rolls. No, there's no bacon rolls, Paul. You'll have to wait for Springfest for that. And of course we have announced Springfest. My lovely members all got the heads up on that a bit earlier. And
so I'm just moving back.
Oh, right, thank you very much. But the Springfest date was announced for this year, the first Springfest. We're going to hold a couple of them this year because we found that some people say to me, oh, I'd love to come to your garden meet, but I can't make it because I'm on holiday. So I thought, well, I'd make it so we do a couple this year. So the first one is being held on Sunday, the 31st of May. So there's the reveal for that. So the members have known about it a couple of weeks. So they've had obviously priority entry for that, as quite rightly so. But if you would like to attend Springfest this summer, on the Sunday, the 31st of May, then please send me an email at andy_charger@hotmail.com to register your interest, and I will reserve you a spot up to my limit, which is about 35 to 40 cars. And of course, on the day, the catering will be handled by my lovely wife, who is the Springbank Kitchen. She provides great, tasty, savoury treats and bakes, and lovely coffees and teas will all be available as well on the day. So it's a good day. It's a great collection of Audis in the garden. It's a wonderful group of people. A lot of them I count as my friends now that I've met through the scene over the year. It's just a really nice day. This will be the 3rd holding of it, so I'm looking forward to getting everyone round. But of course, before that, we've got the Audi TT International Show in Belgium coming up on the 11th of April, Saturday the 11th of April. If you're coming along to that, maybe give me a shout out in the comments, give you a thumbs up, let me know you're coming. Be great to see as many of you there as possible. I know that we have had 250 cars last year, and I think we'll beat that this year just from UK people coming. We've probably got 50 UK cars coming now. Lots of those cars are coming to De Trumpet on the Friday night for dinner at 7:30. So if you want to come and join us for dinner, make sure you contact De Trumpet for a booking. Again,
and chase them up.
Yeah, and chase them up, because I know that people have struggled to get a response back from people on that as well. But yeah, it should be a really, really, really good day. Ever had any issues with the dash turning off mid-drive? Spoke to Sean about it. Thinks it's the EEPROM. I think the dash, if you're talking about the dash cluster, it manifests lots of different issues to people doing different things. I would definitely say get your cluster looked at. I'll definitely send it off to Sean Blencoe because he's the man to have a look at it, get it sorted. He'll get it sorted. So he's Motive Electronics. He seems to be the go-to person in the UK. John Smith just got my Coupe 8N Quattro. It was single owner garage for 10 years, but got a service every year and a half. After getting the timing belt kit, chain and tensioner, and PCV, what else would you suggest? I would absolutely suggest the main thing you should do is get that sump off that car and change your pickup pipe. I see Richard nodding in the background. Pickup pipe is so critical on these cars because I guarantee when you take it off, you'll have stuff in the strainer. It's
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's been sitting for that long, it's probably worth hoovering the top. So if you think where the spark plugs go, they can fill very easily. I'd absolutely have the plugs out without a doubt if it hasn't been moving, and replace. It is a consumable item like anything else on a car.
Yeah.
Your packs on top of them can last forever, but the plugs, if you go back every 30, 40 years, plugs are always the thing you change.
Absolutely right. Yeah, I think that, and I think that definitely on the sump side of things, the pickup pipe is, if you do want to give it a go yourself, you can do it on in your garage on a set of axle stands. That's how I did it, and I did not have a clue what I was doing. And I put a guide together to help other beginners. So if you want to follow that guide, check out my channel, which is Oil Pickup Pipe for Beginners Guide. Really easy to follow. I've had a lot of good feedback on it. People say, it's really nice and straightforward and easy to follow. So definitely check that out, and I'd highly recommend that as one of your jobs.
I think there's two other things as well. If it has, even though it's been serviced, e.g., it's had oil, it's the pipes. So we talked earlier on about checking your vacuum pipes. They will very easily and very quickly erode and decay, but also squeeze your water pipes. Just check on how flexible they are.
Yeah.
Look for cracks, especially obviously at the joints where the seals are on them. So it's like anything, isn't it? If you leave something long enough, a service is unlikely to be changing non-consumable items. So those items have basically dried out, and it's definitely, I mean, they may be fine, but it's definitely worth a check.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing with these cars, is that there's some real standard jobs to go and check. Timing belt, as we know, things such as any of the sensors tend to fail on them, but I say I wouldn't go looking and checking sensors until they'd actually failed on the car, because fiddling around with things and disturbing them can actually cause you more problems. Chasing sensor issues is a bit of a nightmare anyway. But one thing I would cover on sensors, that if you have got a sensor problem in your car, one thing over anything else you want to use OEM and standard is the sensors, because there's parts on eBay, there's parts on other auction sites available.
Yep.
But if you're going to buy a sensor, go to a dealership if you can. Go to somewhere like, I don't know, like TPS or a reputable garage or a reputable part supplier, or Autodoc as well in Germany. They're another great supplier of those sensors, because the aftermarket components that you buy, and even the branded components you can buy from eBay, there's a lot of fakes around. You have to be a bit careful.
Yeah, I was going to say, best example is Car Chris. So if you go back over his videos,
Absolutely.
Obviously he's in the world of Mark IIs now. So anyway, but he bought some spark plugs.
Yeah,
Bosch spark plugs from eBay, the right ones, the right numbers, and they were totally and utterly fake.
Yeah.
I think if it's a good deal, or it's too good a deal,
For sure.
it's too good a deal for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's I learned the hard way as well, because obviously I did the 3.2 crankshaft position sensor, and I bought one off eBay to get it working. Didn't know the issue behind those issues with sensors, and did the change, put it on the car, and it was no different, and I had to go and do that job again, and that is a pig of a job.
And you've got things like anything, if there's a quick buck to be made, it's a bit like, you go to Egypt, if you've ever had the pleasure, it is an amazing country to go to, but everything in every shop is fake. But it looks like Nike trainers, it looks like Calvin Klein handbags, etc. Because that's how they make their money. So if they can make, 50 boxes of Bosch spark plugs for 30p and they're selling them for 40 quid when they're usually 60 quid, they're going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's being aware of that. I think things that you can, as I said in my video, that you can buy aftermarket parts are that the way to judge it is if it's electrical and it talks to your ECU, buy original. If it's mechanical and maybe it doesn't have that reliance, so things like shock absorbers, we can upgrade those. Exhaust, we upgrade those. Those sort of like mechanical components, they're a bit more forgiving of what you can buy aftermarket, and often those components are actually an upgrade over the original parts, I would say.
Yeah, the Munros on the TT do not last long.
No,
and we both found that out.
Yeah.
They kind of go one way.
They don't really go. They don't spring back out, and they also tend to rust. So the I don't know what you class as the outer casing of them tends to rot away at the bottom, so it looks almost like a ghost hanging down the bottom of it. It's so bad.
But it's quite an ironic thing. So this car here has different shocks on to the 225 and 3.2. When I bought the car, it obviously had the original Munros. The car drove perfectly well. Nothing wrong with it. Across the bumps, lovely smooth drive, but they were rusty as hell.
Yeah.
And just because I'm an OCD tart, like many people are in this game, I wanted to get rid of them. So I put B4s on, which are the nearest to the stock that you can buy. Took the old ones off, and they didn't return at all. No. And I'd never have known.
No.
Never have known.
And that was quite something interesting that I would quite keen to find out, because as we know, there's a lot of these NLA parts about now, no longer available parts. Shocks are definitely one of those. And where do you go to be as close to OEM as possible? And Bilstein do a great range of shocks, but they do different resistances, I guess they'd be classed as, different ride for ride quality and ride for lowering cars and that. So they go up to about B14, I think,
18.
Don't they? 18, are they? So the B4s is definitely on the softer end of those, but that's the closest to our cars. So I know that if I was going to upgrade or replace the shocks on my 3.2, I would be looking at a B4 to do that with.
But the thing is, it's not just what you could call exotic parts now. Thermostat. Try and get a thermostat from Audi for a Mark 1 TT with a 225 engine. You can't. So you're going to end up going to an external provider. If you go to Euro car parts, whatever, none of them will have an OEM one. So you are almost open to what they've got. And do you know what? I always read the reviews. They'll always have 60 people have reviewed this thermostat and look at what people have said about it, because if you've had the pleasure of doing the thermostat, even on a 225, it's an alternator off job. Which is obviously a hell of a lot easier than yours, to say the least. But if you get it wrong and the thermostat doesn't work, or it's the wrong temperature, because remember, you can get different set rates on them. So one will open at 80, one will open at 90, whatever. Do it wrong and you're doing it again, and you'll soon know it's wrong.
Yeah.
Especially when your fans are on constantly.
Can we show where the thermostat is on that engine?
Yeah.
Should we do that? Because I think that's probably keen to show a lot of people where that will be. We've got
So it's easy here. Where's me light? Oh, sorry, I think the other light there.
Don't trip over.
In this position, when the engine is out, is what you got to remember is this is the front. Okay, you've got this normally distance-wise.
Yeah.
Unless you take.
Is normally there.
Yeah. So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that down like that. So we've got that on, and I've also got sitting over here.
Oh yeah, chuck them over there.
Stuff falls out that shouldn't fall out. So the manifold would normally. Oh, if I put it the right way up. So the manifold would normally sit right there.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got your charge coming in from this end, and your fuel rail will be plugged in across here.
And the front of your car is about here.
Yeah, so you haven't got any room really to play with that. So let's take that away so we can see.
But it can be done on these. So here we go. So just tip it all. No, do you want to bring that down?
Yeah, I will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off the mount. I'm going to spin it round and we can have a look.
So normally, I'm see if you've got one here. You haven't.
What are you after?
Your rubbish of alternators. So
I have got an alternator.
I'm being sarcastic.
I can
so
get you
usually your alternator sits here on this bracket. This here is the output for the thermostat. So it's actually only 2 bolts to take this off, and the thermostat sits inside.
Okay.
So it looks easy
Yeah.
when the engine is like this, but if you can imagine, you've got obviously the input,
Yeah.
you've got the alternator, you've got the front of the car.
Yeah.
So space is really it's alternator off.
Yeah. So
to do it.
So those are two 10mm bolts, I guess, are they holding it in that place? Or they
Yeah.
eights?
So you've got options. You can either Allen key them or
Yeah.
do the bolts.
I think.
But this is as well, just in case. So this one's actually hasn't been done. This is a massive weakness because you've got massively hot water moving through this pipe and they break.
Okay.
So there is an aluminium replacement.
Okay.
So if you are doing it, and you can buy them anywhere, you upgrade this to the aluminium version of it.
Okay.
Because obviously it's going to survive, but these things crack and break because they cycle.
Yeah. So I also got somewhere over there. I've got like an elbow, like a 90-degree elbow. That's like there's a metal one that's apparent. I think it's for the oil system
Yeah,
that's
there's
been
one
replaced.
sits here as well.
Yeah.
On this side. But then the other one obviously is this one.
Yeah.
So this is your PCV entry.
Yeah.
And these go as brittle as hell, and you've got to be so careful. So if you're doing a catch can, you have to remove this, and there's what it has is a little spring clip around the outside.
Yeah.
Because again of the heat cycle, this goes as brittle as hell and will snap when you take it off.
Yeah.
The problem is, and if you look, let me change the light. So this is what's below it. If you look inside, if any of the bits that will snap off drop in there, it's bottom of the engine off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You don't want that.
but it's a bad area on the engine really.
So if you were working on that there, I guess you could put something inside that.
no,
to-
because the pipe for the PCV comes
Right.
straight up.
Okay, so to remove that. Okay.
So you have to fiddle your way to take it's like a clip pin.
Yeah.
You remove the clip pin and all you can do is pull it.
Right.
Because you have the same problem with this.
Yeah.
So
They
these
tend to
often
break, yeah.
break here because it's exactly the same area. So it's that constant heat,
Yeah.
the constant cycling. All of these parts go very brittle. But then also you've got all the PCV piping here as well, which run up below the input, which again is the biggest weakness of the
Yeah.
car.
But that's an aftermarket dipstick, I'd say. Is that not?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
In
the right
orange.
note.
Yeah.
It's another area you should buy OEM.
Yeah. Do you want to have a wipe on that cloth? I don't want to. Just going to spin you around, guys, and get you back in position so we can carry on talking. Again, we stepped away just to talk about the engine again. But say we've got quite a few questions actually, Richard. So I'm going to go back through those because I did scroll quickly down, but then they. So what we've got? If we've missed anything. Audi USA cut me off from gathering colour sales data here in the US, was trying to compile all the C4, S4, S6 sales data. Paul's going to check his diary. Will your guest Richard be there? Is that for Springfest?
Yes.
Absolutely will be.
And Belgium.
Yeah, and at Belgium as well. So I
My
think
much better half.
So I think Richard Stevenson that's asked that question. So he's based over in Ireland, and he comes to Springfest actually. So he comes over, doesn't drive, but he comes on and just comes and looks at the car. So that's good. We'll see you at Springfest, Richard. What TT modifications would you recommend, Matt Moo? When you talk about modifications, Matt, what are you looking for? Aesthetic or performance there? What are you looking to do? Because I think a lot of the bog standard upgrades to a car, which funny enough, this car's probably got one of, is that induction kit. So that seems to be one of the first mods people do to it, more for noise than anything.
Yeah, that's the only reason that's on.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that people do. If you're looking to get a bit more performance out of it, I think on a turbo car, the area you're going to start looking at is things like, well, have a tune, I'd say for start would be one that you're going to get some instant power. But doing the front mount intercooler is a good way of getting some extra cooling into your turbo so you can get some nice cold air in. That seems to be one. It's quite a big job to do.
I think you have to have a plan as well. Because if you're going to get a tune, it's not a cheap thing to do and it's got to be done properly. If you're going to be changing and improving and altering, if you think the tune is done with the car as it is at the point it's tuned. So if you're thinking, well, I'm going to get a front-mounted intercooler, which makes a massive difference, if you haven't had that when the tune's in, the tune isn't taking account of you having it. So it's almost worth having a plan as to what you're going to do and when you're going to do it, so that you know to do the tune at its most optimum time.
Yeah.
Because even, you might take the change the exhaust, get a deresonating exhaust, which again is a really big one, more so with the 3.2. You take the resonator out of it, it makes the best sound in the world. But you may be putting a new front pipe on it, you may be putting a bigger tip. If you haven't done these things when the tune is done, the tune isn't taking any account of them within the tune.
Yeah.
And you end up having to tune it again.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think a lot of people take them, when they do these mods, that they do some serious performance mods, they take it to a recognised tuner, somewhere like Billet Badger 5 or somewhere like that, to get these cars running at their optimum. I think is probably the best way to describe it. But yeah, so that's where I'd think about. Now, if I'm going to do some aesthetic mods, you might want to do things. I would base my aesthetic mods on the car on giving my driving experience a nicer feel. So things such as stereo speakers. Richard's been there, done that. Obviously having a CarPlay device in there for sat nav as well. Absolutely giving you those creature comforts that bring that already great environment that you're sitting in all day long up to like a modern feel. So I think that's definitely one I would go with. Munmel in France, just purchasing a Quattro Sport 8N which had a stage 2 build, documented in a magazine, owned by an enthusiast, and is mint, right-hand drive, and has been imported and registered in France, where I live. First TT. Congratulations. That sounds like a wicked car.
Oh, you've done the brakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't stop.
No, definitely not.
From stage 2.
No, hopefully you've got some. Well, I think a lot of those cars, when people do that build, I mean, Paul Knight was on a minute ago. If he's still on, I'm not sure. But obviously, Paul's car's running at what, 450, 460 brake. But Paul's done it the right way. He's upgraded everything. He's not just done the engine. He's done the clutch, the gearbox, the brakes, the suspension, so it copes with that power. And he has taken me out. I've done a video on his car as well. His drive. Just realised the lights off from the ring light. He has done taken me for a drive as well. And it's something. I don't know if you've been in his car.
I've been in ones that quick.
It's it goes round roundabouts. It doesn't move. It's just on rails round roundabouts. It's amazing to go around.
But it's quite interesting as well. If you've never had a map, especially on a TT, it's a very small car. When I had my first map, it was done in 2010 by Wack, who used to be the man.
Yeah.
His first statement to me was, start braking sooner, because you don't realise the difference that the tune will make to the acceleration of the car. It's quite staggering, and you will under brake. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a big difference. I think brakes are a big thing. If I was going to do any upgrading of any car, if I put any more performance, the brakes would be the next thing I'd be working on.
But even with this, having just that little bit extra at 240, the brakes are terrible.
Yeah, I thought they were a 3.2 brake, but obviously I was shown wrong tonight. Is Samco still building boost hoses for the Mark 1? We'd always pull the stock hoses for the stronger silicon Samco ones. Are they like the forge kit, the Samco?
I think you might be keep going.
Oh, sorry.
You do that and I'll
I'm
double
going
check.
to grab a quick pipe, actually, because I've got a pipe to look at, which I was going to bring over, which is... there's another one there as well. So we talk about replacing pipes now, and I think these kits are also no longer available. You can't really pick them up, but a lot of the pipes on the 225 you can replace with silicon. So this one has got obviously the diverter valve on it as well, by the look of it. Is that, or not the diverter valve? It's
No, it can't be. It's only got one exit. It is diverter.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where it's come from.
It's
off
not
the
a
car.
hockey puck.
No, it's definitely not the hockey puck. But this, I remember, was running across the back on the charge pipe.
Charge pipe.
Yeah, so that's one. So, of course, these all break down. These replaced with silicon. So this car, the breaker car, it had those two pipes replaced. Why? Just those two pipes. So it was having a bit of a... It wasn't really a stage 1 or a stage 2. It was just like a stage, like 1.1 1,
I
2 or
think
something like that. It's the
there's
same.
still enough brands that do it, and you can buy literally bags of them, like a bag of every pipe.
Yes.
The thing is working out which one goes where.
Yeah,
It's probably half the fun.
And I think one of the dramas you'd have replacing some pipes over others, I can guarantee when you're in there changing some pipes, the ones that you're not changing, you're either going to knock or damage. They're going to start leaking anyway. So if you're going to do pipes on a PCV system, do the lot is what I would say. Don't just do a couple that you can easily reach. Do everything.
And to be honest with you, there's two ways to go. Number one is you get rid of the PCV and go catch can.
Yeah.
But if you're doing PCV, really you should go OEM.
Yeah.
And it's very, very expensive now to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So all the original pipes on the front, so the ones that come out of the input, the ones that come out of everywhere, to buy them from Audi now, it's hundreds.
Yeah, so I think that's so Stuart Heather's put on there about who does a good replacement vacuum pipe kit. So I think they are available, but I think they are.
You've also got to remember it's not just the pipes. Say with the PCV, there's joints and valves, and so you're going to end up butchering parts of the old ones to integrate the valves and the pumps and the everything that's inside it as well.
Is it a job you've done yourself?
No, I went catch can.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. That's where everyone seems to go, don't they? It's
basically you strip everything out, and you end up with a far tidier.
Yeah, you seem to have one pipe that comes out from the catch can to the puck, and the puck goes, and obviously the puck's got the and that's it, and he just gets rid of it that way. So, and obviously the someone asked me a question actually about it. Said, why did Audi not make a catch can from the factory? Well, the thing with the catch can is it's got some maintenance attached to it because it does fill up. So what you need to do is, depending on how many miles you do, you have to undo the catch can, the base of it, dispose of the oil safely, environmentally, and then do the catch can back up and then carry on driving. So it becomes like a disposable item that's not disposable. It becomes a consumable item, the oil, much more consumable.
But would it also be to do with the emissions that they've got to pass? So obviously by going through PCV, any excess is being burnt out through the engine. Yeah. So by the time it actually leaves the catalytic converters and out the exhaust, it's pretty much gone. So I think it's probably so that they can pass emission tests as well.
Yeah,
PCV.
absolutely. Okay, so that's that question. So I think Ford's probably do a good kit. If they still make them, I don't know. We've read that one. That was the question we'd missed, I think. Thanks for the advice, Wise. No problem. Could it be, Blob, could it be an issue with the bulb or the xenon driver or some other issue? I'm not sure what that question's. We've been too busy chatting. We haven't been reading the comments. So it's right. So Stephen Craddock says he loves the old OCD tart comment. So Paul Knight, B14 all day long. Yeah, you're a bit harder than us though, Paul. I run so Darren's put, I run Bilstein B12s on my URS4. Seems pretty nice paired with IBAC springs, firmer than stock, but you won't lose any teeth on potholes.
Yeah, people like IBAC and H&R, definitely. Yeah. So I run the original springs to keep it as original. Yeah,
exactly that. I think you said then with the B4s, it's paired quite nicely. Emmerich, when my engine is hot, I feel like the idle speed is slightly excessive at 800 RPM, and then it drops back to 800 RPM. It's the same number. I think it might be a typo there. You probably mean it runs maybe well over 1,000 RPM and it drops back. I think when it's come to temperature, it tends to idle quite fast and then it drops back down once it's stabilised. But running fast on a
okay, so have you checked? I mean, the trouble is the temperature gauge on 225 on TTs is rubbish. It actually has adjustment to keep it in the middle. The reason being, what they don't want is it moving when you're driving. So it is very inefficient and approximate. You really need to go into the secret menu and go into 92. Is it 92?
I don't know if it's 92. I know 20 and 49 are about my limits.
So basically, you can get the true engine temperature on your display for the air conditioning. No, it must be 42.
No, it's 49 and 51 of the two. One is oil temperature and one is water temperature.
It's 51 then.
Yeah,
definitely 51.
There you go. So
what you want to do is drive with it in that mode. If you don't know how to do it, just Google it in YouTube. There's a million videos on it. Watch the temperature. It's been probably one from.
I reckon there's
much
a video.
better than me. Watch the temperature when you're driving. It shouldn't really go over about 94. If it's not reaching 94, it's probably a thermostat.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's going way over, then the problem is going to possibly be an airlock. It could still be the thermostat, could be your water pump, there could be a number of reasons, but really you want to check exactly what the car is genuinely doing, because the gauge isn't telling you. Okay, it's cheating. Basically.
Yeah, exactly that. So, yeah, it's definitely the 49 and 51 on the secret menu, the two codes you need to check out. So one is water, one is oil, and one of the things that they recommend is you don't drive the car, particularly a 3.2, hard until it's up to temperature, because you can do a lot of engine damage to a 3.2 until it's up to temperature. But what people will do is they will watch the gauge on the coolant temperature, and when that's at 90, they think, oh, it's okay, I'll drive it now. But the thing is, the oil takes longer to get to temperature than the water does. So you have to wait until the oil is up to temperature. So that is giving you engine performance, engine protection. So that's definitely something worth pointing out.
The other thing that question also was it about
What's that?
the revs change.
Yeah.
Try it with the aircon off.
Yeah.
Because the aircon will alter the car's revs, and if the car is very hot, the aircon is actually having to work very hard to get the Freon through and down to the right temperature.
Yeah.
Bizarre thing, but it's worth a check.
Yeah. See, it's been a real benefit having Richard here tonight, because what he doesn't know about TTs is not worth knowing. So not only has he brought this beautiful car along for us to look at, but he's also got a mine of information. So appreciate all the help you're giving people tonight, Richard. So Emmerich has said that's a 1.8 180. So Christoph has said, on the subject of tuning, what would you both suggest for weight reduction? These aren't inherently.
Diet.
Yeah, as I say, Monjaro. That's the best way forward, I've decided.
More exercise.
Yeah, no. People. So there's a guy that races a Mark 1. There's a couple of guys that race Mark 1 in the Southern Series. One of them's called Wayne Shawnee, and he's got a lovely car, and he's done a lot of weight reduction. And the things he's done, replacing a lot of components. And I've not had a chance to speak to Wayne yet and ask what difference he feels that weight reduction makes. I think for...
Lift the seat out.
Yeah.
See how heavy they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take your back seat out if you want to lose a bit of weight.
Yeah, it's 8. I'm telling you what, it's 18 kilos in the back seats, if memory serves. They're quite heavy because they've got metal frames, front, up and down.
Yeah, but there's things people ask about weight reduction, and then you get in the car and they're driving around with bags in the boot of the car and stuff. So it's always,
they're eating their 15th cake.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
one thing you should never do though is there is a ballast.
There is a ballast.
You can carry on.
Well, there's a harmonic balance. Harmonic
on the back.
Yeah, on the back, under the bumper. That's there for a reason. It's there to make sure that your car is harmonised. They call it harmoniser. They call it. That's
stabiliser. So there's two things that people think they can remove and you can't. Number one is the harmoniser on the back. Which is almost like a washing machine. It's just a weight to level out. The other is if you decide to be really cool and put a front-mounted intercooler, there is a big heavy metal pipe that runs across the front between the two normal ones. It's actually structural, so never remove it.
There you go. So that I didn't know, and that is another piece of information that is worth having. So yeah, don't reduce the structural weakness of your car by doing that job.
But weight-wise, what can you do? You could buy lighter. Interior is the easy way to drop weight.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think, Christoph, for that really is, you strip out that back seat. I mean, to be honest, whenever I'm driving the coupe, particularly when I'm taking it to Europe and places, the back seat's folded flat anyway because it gives us much more luggage space. So, if you're not going to reuse the back seat, well, you don't really use back seats in a TT anyway, you might as well just do away with them.
Otherwise, it's other materials, and you say you don't want to butcher the car, but
yeah,
the thing is, most of it's aluminium anyway.
Yeah.
So carbon fibre, yeah, great, light, but it's not that much lighter than aluminium.
My URS4 catch can has a drain line back to the oil pan from the 034 Motorsport. Just have to be careful with them in the winter months. I guess that's back to the catch can comment. My bad. I wasn't aware that I wrote 800 twice. That's all right. We worked out what you meant, buddy. No problem. Paul Knight was still there. When my Forge engine was built, they recommended staying PCV.
Yeah.
I've never had any issues. Well,
If
yeah.
you didn't need it, they wouldn't have put it on there.
No. Oh, there you go. Someone's commenting. 51 is oil, 49 is temp. Thanks, guys, for all that. I always wait for 80 degrees oil temperature. I would wait to, well, that's because you're impatient, Paul. I would wait till you get to 90, but all right. But you know better than me on that. Because
There you go. Didn't know that one.
20 is battery voltage for anyone interested. Yeah, do you know what? So I started doing filming of a video, stepping through all the codes, seeing what the number was and saying, oh, what's that? And then going off and researching it. I must put that live because I think that will help some people. The whole menu guide, the secret menu. Hi, I have slight xenon flicker on one of my headlights and it sometimes turns off by itself. Could be a ballast problem then, I think, if you've got that going on.
Swap the bulbs over,
Yeah.
and if that doesn't change it, swap the ballasts over.
Which is headlights off to do normally.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a really old car.
But you're going to have to take, if it's a ballast,
Yeah.
you've got to take a headlight
Yeah.
off anyway.
Yeah, you have.
Swap them round, swap the ballasts round.
Yeah. And just while we're talking about that,
Just so happens.
just so happens, when we're talking about ballast, here's a headlight off an Audi TT Mark 1. And do you know what? It's in actually really nice condition, other than it's got a snap tab on the top of it, so it's not all that great. But what you've got is on the inside of the light is you have this square silver box right here, and that is your ballast, and that is what is like your igniter, not your igniter, your so it class as the igniter.
Yeah. And they're not coded.
Okay, so you can swap these out.
Yeah.
Right, so there you go. So that's your ballast. So if you wanted to check your ballast, you could take that one off. The one side's held in place by 3 little bolts there, 3 little screws. So you could swap it over, put it on the other side, test it and see if you have the same problem.
And just have interest, Bosch do a repair kit for these.
Do they?
Yes, you basically, if you look, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a screw hole in the back.
Yeah.
They do a new one of these that screws on.
Oh, and is that a fault
directly.
that's available?
Yeah, Bosch mate. Because these aren't the only headlights with that form of thing on them.
Oh, right, brilliant. I didn't know that. I'm learning stuff tonight as well, guys. So
That's why it's got a screw hole on the back.
Uh,
There. So you can screw the new one onto it.
oh, okay.
So you don't have to glue them on. You can actually get a new one from
Brilliant.
Bosch.
So but when you're removing a headlight, just to talk about headlights actually, because something that I not foul of, but something that someone had fell foul of, privacy to me having the car, is that it's held in place here with a bolt on your car, and then there's this fitting here in the top, and there's this the one that's broken. But what it also has on the inner wing, you can see it's got this little tab here, and that clips into a bracket on the wing that holds it in place. And if you don't take that off and you're wrestling it, you can break those, and I think they do break for other reasons as well. But if that happens and you've broken it, you need to get that replaced. Now, luckily, I so happen to have over here. I've got both of them actually.
T-spares have got a box of them.
I bet they have. But you can tell this one came off the papaya, because the lazy painter that's used it before has obviously painted this in the wing in place. But I've got a one off the driver's side right there, all intact. But this is the one that was broken on the papaya. So you can see what I've done. You can see that 2 stripes down it there. It's been super glued, but it's also been, and it's got one down there as well. And I've used a plastic welder, which I've been selling on my TikTok shop. So check those out on TikTok shop. But that has fixed that problem. So that's got that structural strength back into it now. And now I can use that to support my headlight once again. So right now, that's driving around without one on it. So it might be a bit wobbly.
Won't mess up your overspray. It'll be even.
Exactly right, yeah. So of course, when I went to take the one off the breaker car, yes, I've got the driver's side one, but the one I needed was unavailable, because the one that was unavailable, I actually fitted to a Roadster, a Moro Blue Roadster that lived here for a couple of weeks. My friend Patrick Caboot, that lives in Belgium, came over to the UK and bought it and took it back with him. And it had a broken, we swapped the headlights over and it had a busted clip on it. And I just literally had one of those. I've got a spare one of those, so I fixed it, swapped it over for him. So that one is now living in Belgium. Is that where we're up to
Yeah,
on
I'll
questions?
put it to the next
Okay, yeah. So math sensor reading 2.3 GS with ignition on and engine off. I don't know what the standard reading is on that. So best thing to do is probably stick well, you obviously use a code reader to get that number out, but definitely have a look at what that reading should be. It should be available on Google, that one, I'd have
And
thought.
if you have to replace it, it's another thing OEM.
Yeah.
Absolutely non-negotiable.
Sensor, that's exactly that.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah. Yeah, so I actually, funny enough, when I go on my road trips, I take a set of spares with me. And I'm going to cover that off in a video about what I'm taking to Europe with me. I take a spare MAF, and I take spare coil packs as well, because if I ever need to swap those, if it starts playing up, they're easy fixes to have. You can bolt on. Obviously, there's a certain number of things you can take sensibly, certain things you don't want to take for bigger jobs, because if it's that big a job at the side of the road, you don't want to be doing it anyway. So, but easy stuff to fix that can get you going again, definitely. Stephen Craddock, I missed it. How long has Richard had the QS?
Just under 5 months, so not that long.
Yep.
I was in the market and had looked at a few, some real rusty ones as well, unbelievably. But this one was quite local to me, and I stole it basically for the money I paid. So
Yeah,
lucky
absolutely.
me.
Yeah, guys, and I'll just say Mullen France, thanks. This is really valuable stuff. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, guys, and just for a little selfless plug for my channel, of course, I do a lot of work in the Audi TT Mk1 community, bringing these videos to you guys. So if you are enjoying what you're watching, obviously give it a thumbs up. And if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe for more TT content. And of course, if you want to go a step further and become part of my TT support group Inner Circle and support the channel, you can of course join the channel and become a member of the channel. Or if you want to buy me and Richard a cup of tea tonight, then obviously you can use the super thanks. Well, a bottle of Coke, wherever you got. Other fizzy drinks are available. You can also click on the super thanks button in the chat as well and buy me a cup of tea. So there's lots of options there to help support the channel. And of course, all of your support is most appreciated, because I say Richard, one of my founder members of the channel and been a friend of mine for many years. Replacing PCV system a nightmare? Yes. Definitely, if you're going to replace it, if you're at the stage you've got to replace it, as Richard said, catch can all the way, I think, nowadays, because it seems to be the sensible way forward.
Yeah, obviously you've got PCV and PCV. You've got the top PCV, which runs the N75, which is your basically boost pressure control for the turbo. But then obviously you've got the majority of the PCV underneath the input. The easiest way to do it is to take the front off. So what's the input? The
slam panel?
No. With the injectors in it.
The intake manifold?
Intake manifold. But obviously then you have to put another gasket on it. But it can be a very good opportunity to do some stuff. So there's something called a phalonic spacer. Because what you've got to imagine is the actual import is very hot. And therefore the air that it's putting into the engine is already very hot. You can buy something, you look it up, begins with pH, is phalonic spacer. It's about 5 mil wide, and it's made out of a material that basically takes all the heat out of the air before it goes into the engine. So if you're going to do your PCV, it's only Allen key bolts. Take the input off. Get the phalonic spacer will come with 2 new gaskets, one for each side of it, and longer bolts. It's not an expensive bit of kit, but makes a substantial difference to the temperature of the air. And if you're messing about with things like front-mounted intercoolers and so on, expanded charge pipes, and then you're putting really hot air into the engine the other way, you're losing so much of your power. It also then gives you a great opportunity to clean the front of the engine, which will be covered in oil, and obviously replace your PCV.
Okay, yeah. So that phenolic spacer, I've seen that. It's almost got like square holes in it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So the only other thing as well is you've got to know what there's small and large ports, and I think the 225 are all small ports because there's 2. because obviously you've got the holes for the ports. We can see it on the engine we showed you where the valves are. The 225 is a small port engine, so make sure you get the small port one or you'll have overlap.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just conscious we've got so many questions coming in, and I'm just no. That's all. It's all good. It's great having you here for this. So Stephen Harper said Retrofit Guru also makes replacement reflectors for bi-xenons. Lee Coast, South East Sussex. Is that right? Lee, South Coast, East Sussex. Evening, Andy. Evening, Lee. Hope you're well, buddy. We've got quite a few guys on around the south coast of Sussex.
Yeah, west side, so I'm sure.
Yeah, you're the other side. But yeah, so we'll have to get, if you're local, let's have to get a local meet together. Speaking of maths, do you have any reputable rebuild with them in the UK?
Replace.
Just a brand new part, yeah. I've got my two maths I've got a spare for both cars, and they're OEM ones, and they're not brand new. They're actually off another car, so I know that they work. So they're more to get me out of trouble in case I need to get another one.
They're so important because the engine is using the data to make so many decisions.
Yeah, and we talked about the N75 then again because it's a sensor. If you are going to replace it again, OEM, replace it with a proper sensor. Don't replace it with some aftermarket piece of junk. John Smith, thanks a lot for the wealth of knowledge. Well, I've got the knowledge meister here with me today. Lee's put indicator problem, new hazard warning switch recently, but even before on the right side, they flash fast, but for some reason slow down in rev car, change bulbs. Normally a fast flashed indicator is normally a sign of a blown bulb, isn't it?
Bad earth.
Yeah, bad earth.
Check your wiring. Basically, its resistance usually affects. So the system of the car is looking for a circuit. If it can't find a circuit, it will flash quickly to tell you that it hasn't got a circuit. It could literally be a bulb that looks fine and is working fine, but has lost all of its resistance across the element. So, easy thing to do first is go around and change each indicator bulb one at a time and see if it goes.
Yeah.
If not, you need to check your wiring because it likely is an earth.
Yeah, so Lee's put even ripped out lights and checked wiring and all good, bloody stumped. And MOT in a few days. It's definitely have a look. I definitely check all the bulbs because obviously what you do get, and people often ask on the various groups, is the sign on the dash that has that sort of like round circle with the cross through it. This the blown bulb. What does this mean? Well, that doesn't actually go off on all bulbs. They're not all monitored on the car, just so people are aware. So you could have a blown bulb and not know about it.
It's a bit like your brake sensors. It's looking for a so if you've got brake warning, brake thickness, the pad warning, all it's looking for is a resistance. Mm-hmm. When your brake pads lose all their width, it cuts the resistance. So it's exactly the same system as it is with lights. And
you'd hope your brakes are wearing together because normally your brake wear indicator is only on one of the discs as well, so on one side.
It works out they should all be going at the same time.
You'd hope so. You'd hope. Although, judging by what my 3.2 was doing, I'd say one of them was definitely in contact a lot more than the others.
Could be the hazard switch. It's just the circuit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically. It's just following the circuit.
Yeah, and John Smith has sent $5 Australian, I think that is. So thank you very much for that, buddy. Thank you very much, sir. Most appreciated. Riddler on YouTube, fast flashing bulb could be a failed hazard switch. It was on mine, yeah. But I think he did say, I think Lee said he'd replaced it recently. But of course, it could be it's gone again. Christopher's put, any of you ever had issues with the boot lid lining coming loose?
Are we talking about round on the boot lid itself or round the boot?
Yeah, because it's the boot lid lining. The actual roof line on the inside does sag and does cause problems. The boot lid lining as such, that's normally solid up the side, isn't it? Not. I've got
It's just a plastic.
Got a boot lid over there. We can have a look at if we need to. But
bit that goes around it.
So Lee's put, I'll replace the bulbs in tomorrow, but somebody said it could be the stalk as supposed to be a common fault.
Never heard of it.
No.
Sorry.
I checked. Obviously, we've got other people that other great resource in the UK that we can learn.
The thing is, though, if it is the stalk, they are piss easy to change.
Are they?
It's just a cartridge. So if you take the steering wheel off, it just There's usually one screw, and you just pull the cartridge off, put a new cartridge on.
Okay. Do you know if that part's available? The car?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say,
No, you took off a breaker.
But that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
okay, well that's something I've probably got in my breaker car that I might take off and keep the spare. Cause it's
So basically, it has a block that when you push it into its position, the block goes into the connection.
Okay.
So you don't wire it, and it literally just
Okay.
Same on both sides.
Okay, well, Lee, I've probably got that part on the breaker in the garden. So if that's something you're interested in trying, you want to try there, I've probably got one available there if you're interested.
But if you do it, tape your clock spring. Don't let the clock spring. So basically, if you don't know, you probably do. The clock spring obviously takes all of the signals you need off the steering wheel, like the horn, because obviously it spins. So the clock spring is like a little tape. And it will go 2.5 turns, 3 turns each way. If you break that, you're knackered. So if you're going to take the steering wheel off and mess around it, just put a bit of insulating tape across the clock spring so it can't rotate, because you may have to pull the clock spring off as well. And then you can just put it straight back on as it is.
Okay, that's
very
good
important.
Yeah, good bit of info that. Stephen Kratz, but I get the brake light check come on, but no blown bulb. But I've got reverse sensors. I've got the brake light check bulb come on, but no. Oh right, I see. You mean you've got the check the bulb light, the broken. As if you've got a blown bulb. Could be a lot of things. That I think those blown bulbs. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the brake bulb. It could be other things as well. Hey, just wondering if I need to program my ABS module. I've replaced it with a new pre-owned one, and my ABS light has gone off. Your ABS light's gone off or gone on. Normally, if your light comes on, it normally means to be that's the little triangular light with the little can be a whole host of problems.
I don't know much about ABS.
You can
Bleeding them is a horror.
Yeah,
because you've got to do it first.
Yeah.
And usually you have to use a machine.
Yeah, but I still have an ESP traction control light on. Okay, so it sounds like you've got the light. I'd definitely have a look at getting it bled. Underneath the fabric lining, mine's getting quite sad. Okay, that's So
unfortunately, you think the heat, the sun,
the
moisture is all going through the windows and being actually reflected or actually being made more because of the glass. It's just age.
Yeah, absolutely right.
All you can do is replace them.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, when I put the hazards on, they flash okay, so that's back to the hazard switch.
Makes no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like the circuit.
Yeah. Signal stalks absolutely to flake out on Audis of this era. We used to do them fairly often.
Okay.
So yeah, so it seems.
I've never known anyone.
Okay.
But hey.
So that seems to be definitely a.
Yeah, I say it's not a hard job.
I've had issues with my indicator staying started. Had to change the relay with the hazard light switch. It was a £2 component and a 5-minute solder job.
On a TT, I'm not sure it has a relay because it works through the hazard. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe wrong.
Okay, so Lisa's sweet. Thank you there. Cool, guys. Hopefully that's helped you all out. Jacob, Ollie, hi, best buddies. Start panting like dog.
Okay. Only at the weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hi, best buddy. Start panting like dog. Well, that's yeah. I'm not sure how that's TT related either, but bit of a strange one. Oh, he's retracted his comment. Maybe he's in the wrong chat.
Okay.
Oh, woof! Someone's put. Yeah,
as I say, it's in the hazard.
Yeah.
Because you just change the hazard switch. There is a separate relay.
Yeah.
I'm
cool.
not going mad.
Yeah. Cool. So we've still got 22 people on. We've been going for nearly 2 hours, which is 3 minutes short of 2 hours. So we'll probably knock it on the head in 3 minutes' time, so Richard can get home. I've got an early start tomorrow as well, anyway. But it's been we'll have another quick walk around in the car before we sign off. But I want to thank Richard for coming down.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Because it's absolute pleasure having him here as always. It's always good to catch up, and known Richard for many years, and always good to see his latest project, which. I'm not really sure I should be sitting on the bonnet, but he did say it was okay, but it does make me a bit nervous.
It hasn't been clean.
No, but it's but yeah, lovely to see this car in the flesh, and of course it will be great to see it in just a few weeks in Ypres when we take these cars to
in the sunshine.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's always hot.
The last 2 years it's been roasting. It's been a lovely sunny day. But of course, if you want your Audi TT International Andycharger hoodie or t-shirts, they're available on the channel as well. And of course, members. No, that's fine with me because I'm an addicts moderator as well, so that's all good. But if you want a t-shirt or a hoodie, members obviously get a £5 discount as well, so that's another good reason to be a member of the channel. But if you're interested in that, drop me a message at the channel. All colours and sizes available. They do look really good. I haven't got one on tonight. I've got an old Andycharger hoodie on tonight with my big logo, so I don't know why I've done that. But yeah, definitely check it out. Definitely check out the details of the International TT show. There's a whole host of great shows coming up over the next few weeks as well. I haven't done an events video recently because I did speak about that at length the last few weeks. People have been a bit slack at getting me the event information, so if they don't provide me it, I can't put the information out. I've got a video hopefully coming this week on the alternator and the job I've done on that. There's another couple of videos in play. I was going to put a video together this week on stripping the engine down, but as we haven't got any microphones, can't do that until I get some new mics.
I'm devastated.
Or until
I only came here to the
no, I do apologise. I'll make sure you get first look at it when we do it. When I do it, I'll make sure I'll let you know when I'm going to do it. You can come back and be part of it.
It'll help.
Be part, yeah, absolutely. You can hold the camera, or you can do the unbolting, and I'll do the filming and talking. Maybe do a little double act. But we'll have another quick walk around the car, and then we'll probably sign off for tonight. But let's say thanks to Rich for bringing this beautiful car down, and let's have another good look at it as we walk around it. So again, if I might stand right back, if I come right back here into the messy garage, and then we can get a good look at the car. There you go. So that's it, sitting behind the soft boxes. I mean, how good does that look? You know, that's a beautiful car. Absolutely. And say the black roof and the Mazzano red paint, it really does make it pop out. Of course, you've got these lovely original Phantom Black, not Panther. Phantom Black pearlescent grills as well. Still calling it Panther Black. I know I'm obsessed with Panther Black. And then of course down here you've got these wonderful QS original wheels, and again with the plastic wheel nuts, although someone did say that the plastic wheel nuts are not just on the Quattro Sport, but also the Fat Fives. We've learnt that tonight. The lovely black wing mirrors you've got there again in the Phantom Black, and you've also got the roof. That's the big thing that normally points out the Quattro Sport, I think, over any of the other model Audi TT Mk1s, is that it really stands out as the black roof. A lot of people imitate that now aftermarket. They do seem to colour their roof to try and pretend they've got one, but we know only the real ones have got it from the factory. And one thing that I will point out on here, I don't know if I can see it in the light or if we can, but it might have been repainted. But essentially on the back here, someone pointed this out to me that own one, is they tend to have a tape line just here in the paintwork on all of them. So when they were masked off for painting, there's a very small paint mark in it. Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been polished out.
Yeah, but they all tend to have that unless they've been aftermarket done. There you go. Bit of advertising for the TT addicts there. Reckon a nice little Andycharger sticker would look nice on the back there as well. I'll see if I can find one for Richard. Again, you've got this Phantom Black rear spoiler as well finished, and of course down here you've got the rear diffuser all in black, and the tips as well are in black as well. You've got in there, you've got the rear seat delete, which is being reflected by the lights, so we'll have a look at that inside instead. So I'm going to have a quick look in here. I'm looking at a good look at the interior. You walk around it, so you've got the Alcantara steering wheel, gear knob, handbrake cable, and the lovely poles. They're not poles as we said, but they are Recaros. Richard's done some work recolouring this as well, debobbing all the seats so they look like brand new. And there of course is the rear seat delete, the factory rear seat delete. So there's your good weight saving gadget there, is to put one of those in the car and remove that as well. Absolutely lovely car. And of course over there, if I zoom in, you've got the Quattro Sport logo on the glove box as well. So it really is a lovely car. One that I think Richard can be very proud to own. And yeah, I think we'll what we'll do is at the end of that we will it's a good night from him and a good night from me as well. And thanks all for joining tonight. Of course, definitely check out the channel. Give it a thumbs up for this video if you've enjoyed watching it. And of course, catch me next week when we see what else we may have in the garage, where it'll be one of my cars or maybe another channel member's video. And of course, if you want to become, you want to be part of this on a Monday night, we are featuring members' cars in here on a Monday night. So if you're a member, you can put yourself forward to being here. And it's a good reason to come down and see me and chew the cud over things all Audi TT related. So thanks for joining tonight, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks.